welcome back to Let's Play AM2R. We are finally done in the tower, and we're ready to move on! Oh no, I took that guy off. Now that we have power bombs, we can actually go deeper. Come here, you piece of crap. Now that we have power bombs, we can actually go deeper into the area, but first, I think it's time we backtrack just a little. You see, you may recall that I mentioned that there are a lot more Metroids left in this game than there were in Metroid 2. In fact, in Metroid 2, we would effectively be at the end of the game. Only one area would remain, and that one area is not even like a real area. Man, killing these guys is so nice now. So many of these annoying guys, and now that we got the plasma beam, which for those of you who don't know, the plasma beam shoots through enemies. It pierces them. The individual beams do not go away when they hit an enemy. So look at me going, shooting guys, taking stuff out. Yeah, this was effectively the end of the game, almost. Like, our next goal would be going into the Metroid 2 equivalent of Terrain. And it hardly feels like we're that far into the game yet. We're certainly not to Terrain, of all places. And AM2R did a little bit of changing to that. So hang on to your pants. I think what's really cool about that is that you could see all the areas that you passed through in order to get there, in front of the place where you were. The GFS Thoth is a Griffin-class ship. Once an escort of Olympus-class battleships, it has since been converted into a research vessel. Its crew has continuously helped the Federation explore planets, ancient civilizations, and study species throughout the galaxy. The Thoth carries portable drilling machinery for excavations. The ship landed on a small valley. The present dig site connects directly to the underground research lab. An Anhur-class gunship is also nearby, registered to the rescue team. You may recall in the mission briefing that there was actually a research team that came down here in the GFS Thoth, and that later a rescue team was even sent to rescue them once all contact was lost. So of course, their ship is going to be somewhere, and it's here. But, neat thing, you can see the passageway that we went on in order to get here. And I think it's neat that it does go behind other rooms, and when you pass those, you see that room pass by. So this is actually kind of a big area. There's a little room in here. There's a guy that I killed, mercilessly. He probably had a family. Poor guy. So this just goes for a little while. There's the Thoth. There's the front door of the Thoth. Let's look around out here a little bit first. So this whole area is one thing that was added brand new in AM2R. This ship was not in Metroid 2. None of this was. Though I was informed that the research vessel was actually, the research team, was actually mentioned in the manual to Metroid 2. And that would be the accompanying gunship. And a power bomb. You can't go in the gunship, I'm afraid. But we can go in the research vessel. Okay, elevator up to the next floor. Let's keep looking here, though. Kind of an under bridge. A lot of dead guys. More dead guys. And we're outside. Well, let's head back and go up. So I think it's neat that in attempting to add something new. Oh. Let's see. The motion sensor monitor system displays as follows: Level 1 storage, no signal. Level 1 lobby, no signal. Level 2 comms room, no signal. Level 2 west wing, no signal. Level 3 east wing, movement detected. That's not terrifying at all. I think it's neat that they expanded upon that, though. They didn't just make a new... Okay, that goes up. They didn't just, like, make this for giggles. I think it's neat that they expanded upon what the manual said about the research team and said, hey, let's put that in. That'll be cool. Let's let you actually investigate and learn more about that research team. Okay, so there is no west wing. And this would be the east wing. What is that? It looks like friggin' Dragon. Maybe it's a Metroid. Hey, an E-tank. E-tanks. Energy tank. Oh. Oh, there's something in here. Genesis, an ambush predator. This blind animal is adapted to hunt in the dark, relying on specialized senses to stalk prey. Its body offers little protection and will attempt to conceal itself in the shadow as a result. Its acidic blood is used as a projectile via auto-hemorrhaging. The Genesis naturally hunts in groups, making it a highly successful species with a little need to evolve. Its DNA suggests it belongs to the oldest living lineage on SR388, granting its name. So you may recall... I still never checked this. I think maybe they add stuff to the bottom, and I think also I maybe keep forgetting to save after I check it, so I'll check it now and hopefully it remembers it. You may recall in reading about SR388 that there are very few non-carnivores on this planet, which led to effectively an arms race amongst all of the native inhabitants of SR388. This Genesis was effectively the daddy. I will say, as far as adding a special monster in, as far as adding a special boss in, I don't know what the crap the Genesis is. I don't know why it was added. I don't know why it was a unique special thing. Like, I don't know. Maybe it's a reference. Maybe it's reference to something in Metroid lore that I'm not aware of. because it feels like it was just kind of pulled out of their butts, and I don't know how much I agree with that. Adding this, like, big fancy, like, almost alien, like, from the Alien movies, like, what the crap are those, xenomorph-looking things? Like, almost like one of those things, kind of enemy running around, that's just, like, completely pulled out of their butts. I don't know how much I agree with that. But maybe it's got some kind of lore or something in Metroid. By the way, this guy is a pain in the butt to fight, and I may die. So, just as a heads up. So the best way I found to fight him, is to do that, and then you duck, and then you wait until you see him drop down in front of you. He'll walk along the ceiling, and then he'll drop, and then you shoot him, and then you get the crap out of dodge. In fact, you want to stay in the air. Piece of crap. He also really friggin' hurts. You want to stay in the air when he's doing that spit, because... Can I maybe shoot? Because some of it will actually reach the far edge. Okay, you're just going back that way? That's cool. Speed boost does let you get some distance in here, so that's cool. Ah! They changed this guy's AI. I'm currently running this game on the 1.1 patch, and I think they changed this guy's AI. Because I used to be able to really abuse the crap out of him this way. And they're not letting me do it. That was cool. Shoot a whole lot of missiles right over his head. Like, admittedly, I don't know of a good way to fight this guy. I used to be able to abuse the fight like this, and the fight just lasted friggin' forever. And I can't do that here! I can jump from a ducking position, though, which is nice. So I can duck down to shoot him and then jump to immediately get out of the way. Which is actually a nice thing over Super Metroid, where jump just made you stand up. Which is not very good for dodging. Ah, that was a bad move. Why did I do that? Why did I do that? That was equally a bad move. Are you gonna do the spitty thing? That was cool. Just miss him entirely. Okay, you're gonna do the spitty thing. I can maybe hit you when you're... Or not. That's also cool. It's okay, I got super missiles. I'm gonna try to use them, because otherwise I'm getting like one missile in on you at a time. Heck yeah, eat it! It's 5 missiles down your throat. Heck yeah! Man, super missiles wrecked that guy. I think they made him harder to... I think they made his attack pattern more difficult, but they gave him way less health. Or maybe it was the fact that I was hitting with 1 missile at a time and I decided to actually use super missiles. You don't get anything for beating him, by the way, other than the E-tank. Energy tank. Whatever, shut up. I know how to play video games. That's it for this place, though. It was honestly just kind of a nice aside that had a couple power-ups and an energy tank and a bonus boss. Which I think the actual boss fight was alright, if he indeed has that little health, but is still kind of hard. Man, it bothers me so much that all this air isn't mapped. I think the boss fight was alright if they did make him a bit harder, but he was, like... He had very much less health, or maybe I was just hitting with 1 missile at a time instead of trying to use super missiles during times when I know I could hit him. Ah! So mechanically, I think the fight was alright. I do wonder, lore-wise, if that guy had anything going for him. Because it seems a little bit weird that they'd come up with that guy just for the sake of coming up with him. No, you shut up. I'm going this way and you can't stop me. That was supposed to kill you. Killing these guys is so nice. And that they... Oh! Poper. I think it's nice that they put all these enemies that you can kill super easy with the plasma beam in the way now. So, like, this... Going back and forth along this passage was such a nightmare. But, like, you get the plasma beam and now it's just like, eh, whatever. Friggin'. Just go away. No. No, dude. I'm just not gonna mess with you. Because I can just be gone with you. Okay, so with that said, we can now progress proper. Now you'll note that I pointed out how many Metroids were left, and you'll also note that we killed no Metroids up there. And I'll say that is honestly because, as I said before, some sections were added, some areas were added, in order to introduce, like some original sections and areas were added, in order to introduce areas that weren't in the original game, but made use of power-ups that weren't in the original game, but have since become staples of Metroid games, such as the Speed Booster. We had a tiny section added for the Speed Booster not long ago. Eight Metroids. Ah, crap, crap, crap. No, 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 no. That doesn't look super cool. And you'll note that we are indeed, or at least we would be, going to effectively the final area of the game, and we're still down, we can look at it right there, a suit, a beam, and a misc. So they've just added so much to this game that they simply couldn't keep the game the same size it was. And admittedly, Metroid 2 originally wasn't a big game. Because it was on the Game Boy, they could only do so much with it. Oh, that looks cool. So, what they did was they made this game a proper-sized game. An appropriate-sized game for being like a full game. A full, proper release game. And to do that, they felt the best way to go about do that was, instead of making each individual area way bigger, which they already added content to each area, but they did it by adding a completely new area. The Distribution Center. This cave has a massive building outfitted with electrical conduits and water pipes. One of the pipes is collapsed and water steadily floods the lower sections of the facility. Data is insufficient to determine the structure's functionality. Well, we saw right there, it was a, at the very least, we saw a distribution center. Oh, I don't want to go down here just yet. And I also like the way they added new content to this game. Get up there, Samus. Because in Zero Mission, the remake of Metroid 1 that was officially made, One thing I did not like was the whole extra deal they added where you went into the Space Pirates base at the end of the game and dealt with all kinds of crap there and some ancient Chozo ruins and all. I don't like it because it made it a very core thing to the story and the environment and everything that was going on. These guys are pleasant. Yeah, can't do anything in there. And it drew so much attention to it as a major plot point, as a major thing the game was revolving around, and the world was revolving around and what was going in there. And it was just tacked on at the end of the game. Like, okay, you beat the game, now here's extra world. It was, mechanically, it was a neat experience, but it just felt completely unnecessary. I like the way this game has handled it, because it's kept the core game identical. You're doing exactly what you did before, you're not doing anything bigger or fancier. It's just adding little bits here and there to flesh out the game world, and to flesh out the game, to make it a bigger game. Which, of course, as I said, given how small Metroid 2 was, this makes it more of a full game. This is the kind of thing that just the different approach here, you can tell that the way Nintendo did Zero Mission was very much to, I guess on one hand to sell copies of the game, but also to kind of shock you and get you with that wow factor. There wasn't nearly as much respect for the original game, whereas this remake, they added some things, they changed some things I'm not 100% happy with, but you can still tell every step of the way that they had a huge amount of respect for the original game. This is by and large a Metroid 2 remake. This isn't a new game that happens to take place over the course of Metroid 2. This is Metroid 2, but better. Until next time, everyone, when we head into an area not on any Metroid 2 map, we're delving just a little bit more into original content. Until next time, everyone.